What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 3 already. I think this is going by really fast, probably because I'm the one making them, but so this episode we are going to be doing the route right before Mount Moon. I wasn't really sure what I was going to talk about during this video because it really is just going to be, you know, you guys getting to see my Bulbasaur and Nidoran showing their stuff off on the trainers, and I guess for those of you who are playing the game along with me, you'll be able to see what Pokemon you can expect to have to fight. So I guess on that note, I thought it would be kind of cool to use this time. I'm not really sure how long the video is going to be, but to use this time to tell you guys some interesting new facts about Pokemon Green. And I don't think a lot of people know about this because I sure didn't. So, the first thing I want to share with you guys is that there actually was a intended female protagonist for the first generation, because there was a bunch of artwork released beforehand, and you guys could probably find it on Google Images, of a female character with a Squirtle. So, you know, it led a lot of people to believe that there was going to be a female protagonist, which we obviously don't see one for a few generations, but, or we don't really, how do I phrase that? You know what I mean? We don't have a true female lead for a while. So, let's see, the other thing was there is a bunch of, really, in the, wow, I'm totally butchering this. I have like 80,000 thoughts going on at once, so bear with me, but, okay, first things first, focus. So, there is a bunch of information that got, not leaked, but people found out there were, unused trainer classes in the source code of the game. One titled Chief, I believe that's what it was. I'll have to go back and read. There's a couple entries for Pokemon in the Pokedex that didn't actually come to fruition. They have just random names and different things like that, so there's a lot of speculation about that. Let's see, what else? There is a glitch that I actually think that it would be kind of cool to try this at the end of this walkthrough. I can't even talk today. Why am I doing this? But where you can battle Professor Oak after the Elite Four, and he has a pretty stacked team of hold on, I have it over here on the side. He has a pretty stacked team of where, like, if I had a Bulbasaur, he would have a Arcanine, Gyarados, Venusaur, Exeggutor, Tauros. I feel like I mispronounce these all the time, but, you know, everyone has their own thing. So, but all of these that I just listed to you, like, Gyarados is level 70, so, and the other ones are about 67, 68, so it's not, it was definitely intended to be, you know, kind of the grand finale of the game, but now the only way to get to it is by glitching, so I wonder what the, you know, decision on that was, or why they decided not to include that in the main storyline. So, yeah, that's another thing. There's a couple other things I really wanted to include in these videos as interesting. There is another glitch, I mean, if we're on the topic of glitches, there's another glitch that people can fight and catch Mew by doing a series of trainer battles and flying around and blah blah blah. You can find a guide for it, which I'm actually not going to do in this walkthrough. Spoiler alert, sorry, I'm not going to do it, just because for the sake of getting through the game, and it's not really a Pokemon I would use, so just keep it moving. So, yeah, there's that. That's another glitch. And Mew actually wasn't intended to be included in this generation of games, but it was added at the last minute after some debugging tools were removed from the software, and it actually wasn't tested before its release, which I do find highly ironic because of how glitchy green actually is. Like, you know, you're gonna start shipping out this mass product to like a bunch of people, and you're just like throwing stuff in at the last second. I don't really know how that worked. I guess it was the 90s, so you know, whatever. But yeah, let's see, what else did I want to include? An interesting fact, there has been someone who is still working on the games now that has been doing music since the first game, so that's cool. Stuck with it for a long time. You know, another thing, this is a little bit of a side note, that I find interesting when you go back and play green, is that if you're looking at your screen and you're going through the walkthrough or your game and you're kind of comparing, let's say you just played, you know, the American version of blue and you went and did the Japanese version of green, how some areas, like the route that I'm on now, really it's virtually identical. It's like there's nothing different about it, even in terms of like Pokemon that trainers are using. Like, it really isn't different. And then there's other areas that are just so weirdly different. I don't know how to explain it. I'll be sure to point them out as we get farther. But where you're like, did they just look back and be like, oh wow, like that totally sucks, we need to change this or something, you know? I don't know. It just has a very unfinished feeling to it when you compare, I think. And I don't really know about this one, but let's see, I'm on a website right now. There's a list of Pokemon that you actually can't get at all in blue, the re-release version in Japan, whereas in green, some of them you could get both, which I thought was weird. Does that make sense? You guys know what I mean, right? Where like in green there was weird situations where you can get something from quote-unquote red version, but when they re-release blue, there's a bunch of stuff you can't do. I don't know. Big old ramble fest. I'm sure you guys are all like, oh, I'm exiting out of this video. He doesn't. Shut up. But there's just so much stuff to tell you. So yeah, I think that about sums up just for like the Pokemon Green facts. I wish there was something else I could talk about, because fighting all these low levels is super boring, but necessary evil, right? Once we get to Mountain Moon, things will start picking up, because then I can get my Moonstone so that I can get my Nidoqueen faster. That'll be great. And then obviously we have a rival battle coming up here pretty quick once we get to the next city. So there's that. Yeah, it's really, you know what, you guys know how this is. Like, just the first two cities or so, those routes in there, boring. Not fun. You have to, you know, kind of suffer through it, but there's not even any items on this route. I could put like little features in there so we could build our Japanese vocab together. There are definitely some in Mount Moon though, so look forward to that. I remember when I was younger, I was absolutely obsessed. I was like building this entire team of like Clefairies from Mount Moon. I don't know what I was doing. I remember it though because I was devastated. I don't know, what gym was I at? I'm not kidding you guys, I think I had 5 of them. all the same level, made sure they were all identical, and I got to one of the gyms, and I just got totally wiped out. I was obviously super young. I think I was playing the American version of Blue. But I mean, I was like devastated. I was like, how could this happen? I trained them so much, but when I was younger, I understood typing, but I guess I just, I'm just gonna brute force my way through, So yeah, that's the end of episode 3. I'm gonna go heal up and prep for number 4. So, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Mount Moon.